this rabbit strip fly is a really, really easy tie. It does not a very complicated pattern at all. We start with a hook, and I'm not even very fussy about the hook. It can be a Trey Combs hook, it can be an O'Shaughnessy hook, it can be a TMC, VMC, TMCO, whatever you like. Just something that's a fairly solid hook with a reasonable gap on it. I'm going to take a chunk of monofilament here. I'm using a 25-pound test hard mono. I'm going to make a nice little loop. It's going to create basically a platform for that tail to sit on, so it doesn't want to wrap around the shank of the hook. I want this loop to sit back about, quarter, 3/8 of an inch behind the bend of the hook. Just to make a little shelf. All right. There we go. And just kind of control that, make it sit where we want it to. Trim off this little bit here. All right. So my tail is going to be a nice little chunk of rabbit, about 2 inches long. Doesn't take very much. This is a nice little fly. All right, we're going to just sit that on top and wrap it in with a couple soft wraps to make sure it goes where we want it to, and firm it up so it's nice and tight. All right, that was easy. Now we're going to take some red, and typically I don't cut this section to length. I'll just lay it in here full length, wrap it in nice and secure on the bottom there. Wrap that in real nice, and then I'm just going to wrap it around the hook twice. Once, twice, then I'm going to tie it off. So we'll bring the thread through, and one more time fairly snug, and we're going to trim that out of there. All right, so that's gone. Now I just need to wrap that in. Make sure you get quite a few wraps around the leather itself. You really want to make sure that's not going to go anywhere. All right, build up a bit of a head here. We're going to epoxy this so it is going to kind of keep the shape. So we want a fairly nice tapered head there to give it the look we want, something like that. And we'll just whip finish that. Just like that. All right. Now, I could leave this yellow and it would actually look pretty good, but I favor the red head myself, so we're going to color this one with the melt pen. If you use thread that matches the color you want it to be, obviously you don't have to do this. But for me, that's part of steps because I like the Kevlar thread. Now the last thing you want to do with this fly before you go to epoxy it, the rabbit fur is all over the place and it's going to get stuck in your epoxy and it's going to be a pain. So the simple way to make this ready to epoxy is just to take a little moisture and smooth that back. And everything is ready to go. I can epoxy that up and it'll make a good fly.